do our everyday routine, but we just don't go out as much as we used to.
Tonight on Cronkite News, a look at how Arizonans are managing the increasing fear of immigration enforcement.
Heat is the force multiplier of disease. Whatever disease you have, heat usually makes it worse.
Plus, how summer heat can affect those living with Alzheimer's.
A whole new learning curve for me with content creation.
And what will no tax on tip policies look like for those who receive income from multiple sources? Good evening and welcome to this special edition of Cronkite News. I'm Kiana Stocks. We start tonight by looking back at some of the top news stories from the past few months. A landmark Supreme Court decision cleared the way for ICE agents to racially profile people during immigration raids. It is important to note, however, that ICE does not have any legal authority to detain or deport U.S. citizens. But as Cronkite News reporter Kennedy Humble tells us, a significant amount of people are still living in fear.
Immigration and Customs Enforcement agents are continuing to question people about their immigration status, and this Phoenix resident feels concerned.
At any given moment, an immigration officer can stop us.
Masavi Perea, an activist from Phoenix, says that in his more than 30 years of living in Arizona, he has never witnessed anything like this.
The government, there is a mean intentionality, right, just to separate families. And then to be proud of that.
The Supreme Court backed President Donald Trump's push to allow immigration enforcement officials to continue.
What we're seeing with these ICE raids and this level of cortisol that's raising within everybody is that it's not lowering.
Counselor Alvarez says that your body releases cortisone during stressful situations and it increases inflammation.
It's also going to cause issues with any part of your major organs, particularly your heart.
The American Psychological Association reports that detention, deportation, and fear of these actions intensify immigrant challenges, including family separations. Corrales says that she learns to control the fear of going out, but that she takes precautions.
We kind of do our everyday routine, but we just don't go out as much as we used to.
Perea is active in his community and helps them with informational forums.
When they have Know Your Rights workshops where we expose to people to education and to create a plan.
Alvarez says that when a person is feeling high levels of stress, anxiety, or any other mental health condition, it is best to seek help.
There are many agencies, there are many therapists that are willing to work with people, no matter what they're going through within the process, where they stand anywhere within that, and that we're a safe place.
Civil rights organizations such as the ACLU are urging people to know their rights should they be stopped by ICE, specifically the right to remain silent and the right to a lawyer. Extreme heat is also causing strain on the mental health of some of those living here in the Valley. Cronkite News reporter Izzy Ludlow tells us why the heat can have such a negative impact on our minds.
In the summer, everyone is at risk for heat-related illnesses, but for people living with dementia or Alzheimer's, staying cool can be even more challenging.
Heat is the force multiplier of disease. Whatever disease you have, heat usually makes it worse. If you have inflammatory bowel disease, you're very susceptible to getting worse during the heat.
A study from Harvard's T.H. Chan School of Public Health found that just one day of extreme heat can lead to more than 5,000 extra hospitalizations for adults with Alzheimer's and related dementias across the U.S.
We know that just historically, people with Alzheimer's and dementia are not as well hydrated.
Most of us carry big bottles like this to stay hydrated, but for someone with dementia, it can feel intimidating. Experts say using smaller cups and flavored water can make all the difference in this kind of heat.
A nice little cocktail glass or a juice glass or a wine glass and do cheers with them. Those are some ways to get people to drink water.
Poker works directly with families to help educate about the illness as a whole and how to create a more comforting environment.
So I help families to understand what different kinds of dementia are, how to live with it. I really teach them how to understand what their people are experiencing.
Mosley says that during high temperatures, there are also many cases of heart problems, blood infections, respiratory problems, and kidney failures. In Phoenix, Izzy Ludlow, Cronkite News.
Tax season isn't until April, but with the passing of President Trump's One Big Beautiful Bill, the no tax on tips policy is now a reality. But as Cronkite News reporter Macy Markham tells us, this move impacts more than just service workers, and it's unclear how much they'll really save.
Donald Trump's no tax on tips policy is not limited to restaurant workers. The Treasury's latest list of eligible jobs includes rideshare drivers, nail technicians, and even digital content creators.
It's a whole new learning curve for me with content creation.
The new policy opens up creators to uncertainty about what tax season will look like in 2025. For Aisha Beasley, a podcaster and lifestyle personality in Phoenix, it's one more thing to keep track of.
And just working for myself, because I feel like a lot of creators, they don't realize all the back end stuff when it comes to the taxes and all the financial stuff.
Beasley says most of her income is from brand deals, not considered tips, but creators can also receive direct cash from viewers or fans. Accounting expert Jenny Brown says that could be tax deductible.
Influencers, they think they're receiving these, products as gifts. No, they're not gifts. They are compensation for promotion services. And anything that you receive as compensation for services, whether it's cash or a good or service, then you have to declare the fair market value of that in your income.
The new policy allows a deduction of up to $25,000. Brown says it may not make much of a difference to most creators. The Yale Budget Lab estimates tipped workers make up just 2.5% of the workforce, and about 40% of those don't make enough money to pay federal income tax already.
Even when they bring in all that, the top line revenue, they're already eligible to deduct a lot of business expenses. For example, camera, microphone, lighting. And so once you take that out, I don't really know how many digital content creators with tips have taxable income higher than the standard deduction already.
For now, content creators are left to wait and see what this actually means for them when April rolls around.
Worrying about some of these new bills, that how does that affect me? How does that affect if, my podcast grows and we want to, do lives or, stream the podcast or just all these things that I need to keep tabs on.
While there is bipartisan support for no tax on tips policies, Brown said that this could stunt support for raising the minimum wage for tipped workers. Coming up after the break, learn about how dreams literally took flight. Learn about the magical send-off that brought smiles to almost 24 children facing serious challenges.
When I was younger, there were no engineers around me, so I had to become my own role model. At ASU, I wasn't just learning to be an engineer, I was actually engineering. And graduating, I already had real-world jobs lined up. Before ASU, my goal was to be a strong, confident woman. And when I left, I became a strong, confident engineer.
I grew up in a small border town, and water was really important to us. Without enough water, we can't farm, we can't eat, we can't live. And the way we're doing it right now, straight up doesn't have a future. I went to ASU because this is a place where you solve problems. With vertical farming, we can grow the same amount of food with 95% less water than traditional farming. The work I'm doing at ASU is changing the way I look at the world.
The scientists and engineers that support the next mission to Mars could be in this class.
Getting a degree at ASU is a journey that can take you anywhere. Into a world of groundbreaking technology and renowned award-winning faculty. Professors who help you to impact the world. Whether you're on campus or at home, becoming your best starts with learning from the best.
Welcome back from the break. This spring, nearly 24 Arizona kids took part in a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. These kids who are facing critical challenges boarded a chartered plane headed towards the happiest place on earth. Cronkite News reporter Sam Dayton was there for the departure.
Balloons, Mickey ears, and a red carpet line the gates at Sky Harbor. But this wasn't your average departure. It was the Wish flight that included a special morning filled with magic and memories for Make-A-Wish kids across Phoenix.
Bring families a moment of joy. They don't have to think about the months, days they spend at the hospital, medical appointments.
Each of the 22 families will spend the next 7 days at the Walt Disney World Resort, all expenses covered. The journey is a welcome escape for these families, a chance to leave behind the pain and focus on being together. And for kids like 11-year-old Gregory Astorka, it's pure excitement.
It's gonna be awesome. Your life will change forever, and you're gonna have amazing Sticky Wheel flight.
The magic behind these moments traces back to Phoenix, where Make-A-Wish was born.
There was a little boy named Chris Grecius, and he wished to be a police officer for a day. And there were a group of Phoenix, right here, Phoenix, Arizona community folks that came together, our founders, to make that wish possible 45 years ago.
45 years later, they continue to make wishes come true. In Phoenix, Sam Dayton, Cronkite News.
Speaking of traveling, taking vacations could be a remedy for LGBTQ+ seniors experiencing depression. Cronkite News reporter Nicole Macias-Garibay talked to experts and an LGBTQ+ couple about how getting away can lift spirits in the face of discrimination.
This is Grandpa Scott and Grandpa Bobby, a couple known on the internet for sharing their travel experiences.
So actually our rings are travel related.
On their YouTube channel, Two Gay Grandpas Travel.
Move your head back, Grandpa, let everybody see the castle.
Their house on the mountainside of Tucson is a museum of artifacts and photographs that they've collected from all over the world.
Because they say, why would you put cold milk in hot coffee?
These are a testament of a love story that began 46 years ago.
Being a senior is hard. Being a senior in the LGBTQ community is even harder. It's even harder. And so if we can show folks that you can do things and that love is still out there if you're open to it and willing to risk it, go for it.
Nearly a third of the LGBTQ+ senior community gets diagnosed with depression, according to the Services and Advocacy for GLBT Elders. The adventure of traveling can help this population feel less isolated.
Here's a community of people who are willing to accept me and to have me, and they are like me. So I'm not weird, I'm not different, right? Travel allows you to access those spaces and to enact those identities. So it can be such a protective influence in terms of maintaining good mental health. It can have such a protective influence in combating prejudice and building resilience to combat prejudice.
For Grandpa Scott and Grandpa Bobby, planning the trips can be as exciting and beneficial to their health as traveling to a new place.
That mental exercise of researching and planning and thinking about what you want to see, where your priorities, how you're going to make all these connections come together almost like a puzzle, that's very mentally stimulating in itself.
But finding destinations that are safe for LGBTQ+ people can be overwhelming. Organizations like the International LGBTQ+ Travel Association offers guides to make the search easier.
Talking about countries where laws might not be supportive or downright hostile toward our community, having businesses that can, that the traveler can rely upon, allows them to explore a world that they might not otherwise feel safe doing.
Grandpa Scott and Grandpa Bobby have a message for those who want to travel. Do it with an open heart. In Tucson, Nicole Macias-Garibay, Cronkite News.
Grandpa Scott and Grandpa Bobby started their YouTube channel in 2022, and they have almost 150,000 subscribers. Spring training is a great way for those in the valley to get outside and enjoy some cool weather. For fans, It's a way to get up close to their favorite players, but it's also a unique experience for the announcers who call the games. Cronkite News reporter Andres Armenta talked to the voice of the Padres about his experiences calling for the Cactus League.
Hi again, everybody. Alongside Tony Gwynn Jr. and our producer-engineer, Dave Marcus, I'm Jesse Agler. So very glad to have you with us on an absolutely perfect day for baseball in the desert.
It's some of my fondest baseball memories are those spring trainings. Those were our opportunities as kids and as fans to go see major league players, minor league players. That's why I always tell fans, you got to get out here. You got to give it a try because it's as good as it gets.
Growing up in South Florida, going to spring training games was common for Jesse Agler. Now, in his 12th season calling Cactus League games for the Padres, Agler's gotten to know the desert almost as well as San Diego.
It's very, very familiar. Every year when I come back here, it's as if I never left. There's a real soft spot in my heart for the valley as a whole.
Broadcasting these games, though, bring their own challenges.
These games really are so different than the regular season games, but some of the principles of broadcasting are the same. Part of the job is finding those storylines, trying to make these games compelling and interesting.
Certainly appear to be a major strength for the 2025 Padres.
Even getting basic information on certain players can be difficult.
Honestly, it just turns into a big Google race.
On deck area left side.
Just try to get, some basic information out there about the guy.
Sam Torrey Pines High School guy, played at USD, born in South Korea.
Jesse's love for broadcasting began as a kid, and today, many young fans share the same feeling.
I loved listening to games. I considered the announcers when I was a kid to be just as exciting and interesting as the players, but it still blows me away that other kids might think that about me, and it makes me feel very special. It's a great reminder of what we all do means a lot to a lot of people, and that's a super important thing to keep in mind.
In Peoria, Andres Armenta, Cronkite News.
Coming up next, we are going to bring you more sports stories, including one you may not have heard.
It's a growing game. We keep trying to invite girls out because it's a part of our tradition. We want to keep it alive just as much as our language, our water, and everything else.
Stay tuned after the break to learn more about the game these women are playing to keep their culture alive.
People have always had trouble trying to put me into a box. A professor, suit and tie is just not me. Without the ocean, I don't know what I would do. The ocean's always been there for me. As Hawaiian people, we believe that the coral is the first living being to come out of the darkness. It's the foundation of our entire lifestyle, and that's what my research is about. What we do is we take photographs of the reef over long periods of time to create models that can tell us what the planet is doing. If we go deaf to what the Earth is telling us, then we'll never be able to live in harmony. If I can get my students excited about protecting the ocean, then they're the ones who are gonna really make the difference. I hope my students realize that I'm not trying to prepare them for something in the distant future. Their time is now at Arizona State University.
Taka is a game that many people in the Valley may not have heard of, but for the people of the Gila River Indian community, it's not just about competition, it's about keeping their traditions alive. Cronkite News reporter Gabriela Salguero explains.
On an early Saturday morning in the Gila River Indian community, women and young girls get ready to practice Taka. a traditional game played by indigenous women of the region that's been passed down for generations.
It's a growing game. We keep trying to invite girls out because it's a part of our tradition. We want to keep it alive just as much as our language, our water, and everything else.
The game originally came from the Tohono women and used their same traditions since when it was first created. The game is similar to field hockey. The equipment is all handmade from mesquite. The stick used is called an usaga, and the puck is called an ora.
Everybody goes to their left. So when we're facing off going to our left, we put up 2 cones. So 2 cones will be to our left on this side, 2 cones will be on our left this way. So your team just goes and hits until you get to that goal. And once the ora passes the cones or the boundary line, and they pick it up, then that's 1 point. And we usually play best out of 5.
The women of the community play this game regularly in the wintertime. They participate in thaka tournaments with other local communities that also share the same customs for generations. The Tohono Nation, the Salt River Pima Maricopa Indian community, and the Acochin Indian community.
It always comes back to me somehow because I remember this is our tradition, and if no one else is going to keep it alive, if not me, then who else?
The history behind this tradition also comes with the lessons of life.
But it's such an empowerment for the women to teach your daughter how to play, to be strong.
This game was made for the women of these communities and will continue to be a game for the next generation of girls that take up their usagas.
Another part of the sports culture in Arizona is football. And one player on ASU is proving that hard work and perseverance can change any path. Cronkite News reporter Keon Russell tells us about the zero-star recruit who's turned into an unstoppable force on the field.
Every star has a beginning, but not every beginning looks the same. Zero-star recruit, no Division I offers, overlooked and counted out. For many, that would have been the end of the story. But for Elijah O'Neal, it was only the beginning. And now the kid everyone ignored is the one everyone's watching.
You don't always have to have the biggest stars. You don't always have to have the biggest offers coming out of high school. You just need to have a work ethic and a strong mentality. As long as you have that, man, it's going to work out.
With little attention after high school, O'Neal wasn't handed an opportunity. He had to go earn it. In 2021, he committed to Butte Community College in California, quickly making a name for himself and catching the eye of coaches at the next level.
When you get a guy that's hungry and then he comes to a place like this that has resources and that wants to coach you, I mean, you can't do nothing but succeed if that's what you want. And he's embodied all of that.
From JUCO to Arizona State, Elijah's rise to the top was not always guaranteed. But with hard work and a chip on his shoulder fueled by every doubt, every time someone said he couldn't, he's carved himself into being one of the most dominant and irreplaceable pieces right here inside the Arizona State program.
Hey man, he bet on himself. And that's really the message of all of this, right? Is it's not about what other people think, it's about what you believe in yourself and to continue to work and build on that. And when you do that, good things happen, and he's a great example of that.
He's a guy that's been through it. He's been through the grind, and just got a lot of respect for him and his attitude that he brings every day. Just comes ready to work, and he's a guy that just never changes.
Now a senior leader for Arizona State University, O'Neal's journey is far from finished. After a breakout year in 2024 with 29 tackles and 4 sacks, he's back in 2025 and ready to help lead the Sun Devils once again. And if the past is any indication, his best is yet to come.
Stay on your path and just keep grinding. Don't give up. That's the number one thing, because once you give up, everything stops.
In Tempe, Keon Russell, Cronkite News.
From the gridiron to the stables, part of what makes sports so special is the ability for people to compete in an activity they love. And as Cronkite News reporter Emily Paulson tells us, for the Cowgirls at Riata Ranch, they aren't just riding horses, they're flying.
It's more than just riding. It's trust, timing, and a little bit of fearlessness. Every moment tells a story of a girl who loved horseback riding and wanted more of a challenge. The Riata Ranch Cowboy Girls aren't just performing. They're defying gravity and wooing crowds.
Yeah!
Riata shapes lives. That's what we do. We just happen to do it through Western performance, professional rodeo, and ranching lifestyles.
Practicing in Prescott for a rodeo, the Cowboy girls traveled from California, where Riata Ranch is located. The girls come from all over the world to train, learning everything from horsemanship to acrobatic trick riding.
Trick riding's meant to look dangerous, not be dangerous. So there's so much prep that goes into it, and it's really a mental game. So by the time that these girls are performing in the arena and you see them hanging upside down, they don't care, they're hanging upside down.
For the Riata Ranch Cowboy Girls, it's about more than just female empowerment. It's a program to build self-esteem and self-confidence for these young ladies.
I was so shy before I came. I honestly, right now, I'd probably be hiding behind that horse. I wouldn't even be talking. They just teach you how to stand up for yourself and just talk in a crowd, because there's situations where you need to tell people about what you do because it's so amazing.
The Cowboy girls say it's not just the performance, it's a rush and bond with their horses that words can barely describe.
You wouldn't understand it unless you were out there. When your horse is running 9-0 around the arena, you're hanging off the side of it. It's the best feeling in the world.
From trick riding to gaining an unmatched self-confidence, the Riata Ranch Cowboy girls are gaining skills they'll have for the rest of their lives. In Prescott, Emily Paulson, Cronkite News.
That's it for tonight's special edition of Cronkite News. I'm Kiana Stocks. Thank you for joining. And to see top Arizona stories anytime, log on to cronkitenews.azpbs.org.